So it looks like this Janet Jackson claiming that Vice President Kamala Harris is not black situation has blown up over the weekend, including a rep for Janet Jackson apologizing and then another rep saying that apology was not official. Well, now Page Six is reporting that Randy Jackson, her brother, has control of her career and doesn't know what he's doing. And he is a longtime, allegedly, Trump supporter.
Hell no.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So over the weekend, we reported to you that Janet Jackson in the Guardian interview, when asked about Vice President Kamala Harris, that is a hot topic right now. Janet Jackson basically says, I heard she's not black. I heard that they recently found out that her father was white. Kamala Harris has said her father is black, a black Jamaican professor, and she herself refers to herself as a black woman. That led to a lot of you defending Janet, saying, no, she is not black. We're not going to get into that, okay? Because we already have spoke our piece in the last video. What we want to break down in this particular video is Randy Jackson. Randy Jackson has been by Janet Jackson's side a lot in recent years. And I personally did not know that he had a role in management when it comes to Janet Jackson's career. So Page Six is reporting this in regards to Randy controlling her career. They said that Janet Jackson sings about control, but some people in her circle worry she's handing it over to someone else. Amid the fallout from her comments about Kamala Harris's race and her camp's chaotic attempts to manage the situation, insiders are pointing fingers at her brother and manager, Randy Jackson. Sources say that the PR disaster proves that Randy is too inexperienced to handle her affairs and has become too loud a voice in her ear. Sidebar, and we said this before, in correcting what Janet has said, doesn't mean that we want Janet Jackson canceled. And I said that in the last video. I don't know if you can really, look, Janet's been through a lot already. She's already been canceled by mainstream media. You saw what happened after the Super Bowl. That is what we call being canceled. She wasn't canceled by us, but she was definitely canceled by the industry, and a lot of things she lost. And that's one of the things that we talked about in the last video, where she's like, yeah, I was canceled. She didn't say in those words, but basically she was canceled. Page Six continues, they said the furor began on Saturday after the Guardian newspaper published an interview with the controlled singer. When the interviewer asked Janet her thoughts on Harris becoming the first black female president should she defeat Donald Trump in November, Janet responded, she's not black. That's what I heard, that she's Indian. And despite Harris making history as America's first black and South American female vice president in 2020, Janet continued, she said, her father's white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. I was told that they discovered her father was white. Girl. Well, the plot thickens because since we did that video, a lot of people pointed at Randy Jackson and his political beliefs. And that made complete sense why Janet would believe that this was the news. If you have your brother coming to you like, oh, this is what I heard, you're going to trust what your brother says, right? So as you know, Page Six says that Harris's parents are immigrants from Jamaica and India. I need to emphasize, when we say Jamaica, her father was a black man from Jamaica, not just from Jamaica, because there are other races in Jamaica, predominantly black, but there are other races. The criticism on social media was swift and devastating. While comedian D.L. Hughley, which I did not like his comments, because it's one thing to disagree with someone and correct someone, and then there's another thing of being a bully and just nasty for no reason. While comedian D.L. Hughley blasted the interview as sounding like a Trump rally and even took a shot at the singer's plastic surgery, he says it's a little ironic to question whether someone is black while you're breathing through the nose of a white woman. Does he not look? We know Janet Jackson had a nose job, but does he not realize that in black people, noses come in all different shapes and sizes? Not all black people have a wide nose. Not all black people have a long nose. They come in all different shapes and sizes. So for me, that is a level of ignorance, and we know that she got a nose job, but come on. So he says, we're told that her inner circle was perplexed by the interview and feared that the fallout could be more severe than that of Gate after her infamous Super Bowl performance 20 years ago, because her comments could tarnish her sterling reputation as a champion of marginalized groups. The Rock and Roll Hall of Famer has tackled social issues such as homophobia, female empowerment, and racism in her work, and her trademark tune calls for the world to unite behind music. How can she sing about Rhythm Nation and make comments like that, said an insider? It doesn't even sound like her. She's so methodical. I don't know what made her do this. She is methodical. She is a Taurus. The source adds that Jackson, who lives in London, doesn't really watch the news anymore. She does live in a bubble. Look, I don't watch the news every single day either because of the kind of job that I do, but even before that. But I'm still aware. And I know she might not be voting because she is a Jehovah's Witness. I don't know if she's a practicing Jehovah's Witness. I know she grew up as one. But I still feel like if you don't know, spewing something like that, especially in this day and age where we know people are spewing things that are not real, I was like, well, that would be fantastic. Janet is so strategic and she is so media trained. I'm so surprised that she got caught slipping, but she is human and people say things out of sometimes ignorance, sometimes by mistake. But I was perplexed by that, especially when you know that there are these narratives about political figures, about people questioning people's blackness all the time. I just would have thought that she would have just steered away from that. Instead of, when talking about Kamala Harris, I'm like, you know what? If she would become the first black female president, that would be amazing. That gives hope to the future. Not, I heard she's not black. What? Like, to this day, are we sure she did this interview? Is there a video recording of this? Page 6 says that we're told Janet learned of the outrage while partying with her crew, including designer Cristiano Siriano in Paris. Janet and Randy's attitude was to just let it blow over. They weren't planning to address it, another source told Page 6. Meanwhile, a man named Mo El Masari, claiming to be her manager, issued an apology on her behalf to BuzzFeed, only for her publicist to walk it back in Variety and declare El Masrahi doesn't work for Janet. They further said that Jackson's siblings would not be commenting on the interview as they are mourning their older brother, Tito, who passed away last week. Things got even more confusing after People magazine published another apology, which it updated after the rep told him that he does not represent Janet in any capacity, according to the article. El Masrahi later alleged Janet and Randy fired him after attempts to improve her image in front of public opinion and her fans, and this is something I do not deserve. This isn't the first time that El Masri has claimed to manage Janet. In August, he announced the singer's upcoming Las Vegas residency as her manager. Janet's publicity team later sent out an official announcement, but curiously didn't address El Masri, didn't address his speaking on the singer's behalf then. But multiple sources insist no one in her camp knows who he is. What in the Anna Delvey is going on? Are we going to get a movie about this man?
I do not have time for this.
And why would anyone take his, I guess maybe because he made a statement as her manager before and they didn't dead it then? Why wouldn't they dead it then? Is he connected to them in any shape or form? So multiple sources insist no one in her camp knows who he is. It's completely out of the blue. No one has ever heard of this guy, not any breath of him, one insider told Page 6. Another source told Page 6 they've never heard of this guy's name in my life and believes Randy brought him on. So Randy is aware of this guy? Okay. Randy is sabotaging her legacy because he's not savvy. She's giving Randy control and no one understands how he's managing her and when he's never had a career. She's pays for everything, they claimed. They further told us Janet listens to Randy, who is a Trump supporter and conspiracy theorist. Janet's bubble is small and she listens to Randy. She does peddle in conspiracy theories, they said. Janet spoke about Randy as her manager in the interview and explained that he's the reason she hasn't released new music. She announced her Black Diamond album and tour before the COVID lockdowns began in 2020, but never released the record. When asked about the Toss album, Janet told The Guardian, "I feel so badly about that. I have recorded a lot of music that's just sitting on the shelf. I went to my brother Randy, and I think he's just waiting for the opportune time." This is just getting stranger and stranger. We talked a little bit about that, though, in the original video that we did. Sources, however, told Page Six that Janet doesn't have enough material for a new album and hasn't recorded in the studio since before the pandemic. But she said that she does. So who do we believe? I don't know why she keeps promising new music because there's none, at least not enough for a full album, a third source claimed. In the meantime, Janet is closing out the second leg of her Together Again tour in London and preparing to return to Las Vegas for a new residency at the end of the year. Janet Jackson's rep did not comment. Something fishy is going on. And Janet, you've been in this business too long to have family members managing your career. You're Janet Jackson. You should have the top manager in the industry managing your career, which she has had over the years. But maybe because of things that happened, she felt like, I can't trust anyone more than my own family. But I've also seen in this industry, family be the downfall of a lot of people's career. I won't name any people, but you just take notes of some of the people that have their family managing their career and why their career is where they're at. Well, we're going to continue to follow the story. Ain't nobody trying to cancel Janet Jackson, but just because we're not trying to cancel you doesn't mean that we can't correct you. Just because we love you doesn't mean that we can't correct you. Just because you're an icon doesn't mean that we can't correct you. And ain't nobody was trying to cancel Janet. I know some people are, but she's not above being corrected. And I know some of you will be in the comments saying, she wasn't wrong. Okay. Woo, woo, woo. Guys, let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.